The reason that we decided to switch from our previous CMS to Quintype was because we found that the CMS that we were using, every time we went to make a change, that seemed to cause something else to go wrong in the system. So the system became rather unstable. And we found that we were not getting the level of support, particularly in regards to speed of response, as well as accuracy of the work that was done, that gave it confidence that our system was solid and reliable. In addition to Quintype, we looked at a couple of other CMSs in United States. We looked at the Washington Post's CMS. The Los Angeles Times had a CMS that we looked at, and a couple of other smaller providers. It was hard to find someone that had the ability. What's complicated about our particular instance is we are not just a media destination, we're content providers. We're like a wire service for health news. So we needed a platform that was going to have the infrastructure that would enable us to create a content distribution mechanism, which the headless CMS was well fitted for. We ended up getting a partner, which Quintype recommended, to help us build out that content distribution capability. But we needed a platform that was going to be flexible, and that's ultimately why we chose Quintype. We were also interested in having a kind of something that would enable us to build out our own website and have the flexibility, the page builder functionality in Quintype, is customizable enough, yet user-friendly enough. We don't have any HTML developers in-house, and so having an easy-to-use page builder was an important consideration, and it's enabled us to get up and going very quickly with the site that we're happy with. The top three things that I would mention as reasons to work with Quintype. The most important reason, if you look at the market for CMS systems that can handle a fairly large volume website with a certain amount of complexity on a cost performance basis, I think you're going to be really, really hard pressed to find anything that comes close to Quintype, because it's got a high level of functionality, flexibility, and it's cost-wise very competitive. One of the real interesting experiences that we've had is after going live, we've been able to work with our account representatives to help get costs down, serving costs down, based on the way the content's delivered. So, a company like us, we have hundreds of thousands of stories in our database, and making sure that that's properly set up is like a value added that, like, all of the other CMS people that we've spoke to have never even mentioned or never even thought about, never even discussed. But that's really what makes a major difference if you're trying to keep the cost down for your solution. The second is the support has been extremely responsive. When we have raised problems and issues, the support has been really quick. We had our last CMS was, would take weeks to do something that Quintype is doing in a day or so. And even before that, we had our one developer that we used, and that developer would take a long time. But just the level of support has really been impressive. And I would say it's one of the main things that I've appreciated about Quintype. The third is kind of the flexibility. The platform allows you to either use the page builder, which has kind of got standard templates to build out the pages, but it's also really easy to customize with HTML or CSS, however you want to customize the pages. And so that makes it really easy to get just the look and feel that you want without having to necessarily be like a full stack web developer yourself. The other thing that we are using that really has been, once again, a cost saver for us and will continue to be moving forward. Quintep recently developed an AI-based translation tool, which enables us to basically translate stories from our English version. Initially, we've been doing it in Spanish, and we're actually going to be doing it in Japanese as well. We've set up separate instances of the CMS, but you're able, with one click, to basically take a story from one CMS frame and translate it and move it into the other CMS instance, where it then just needs to be edited, polished, and published. So it's a great feature that they just released in the last year, which we've been taking full advantage of and plan to continue to do so. But it's innovation like that which we're really looking forward to taking advantage of in the future. The quality is pretty good. We compared it with another platform that we had been using already, and it was comparable. It was a little bit not quite as flexible as the other one we were using, but certainly what we've been saving in terms of time of having to take the content, put it in the other CMS, translate it, put it back in the CMS. The net, we kind of decided the savings makes it worthwhile.